Hey, welcome back. Today I'm going over the iFi ZEN Air can. You can get this on ifi-audio.com. I'll put a link in the review. It's about $100. You can get it from B&H. You can probably get it on Amazon. I've already done a review of the iFi ZEN Air phono preamp that I'll be using alongside this today. I'm also using it with my Denon DP1200 turntable. I've got a Sumiko Rainier cartridge with it, phono cartridge. It is moving magnet. And I'm going to be using some vintage, I'm not using vintage speakers. I'm going to be using headphones on this because this is a headphone amplifier. I guess I'm having to adjust. I'm not typically a big headphone guy, so I do have some more entry-level headphones. Probably be getting more into that later, but typically before I had kids, I didn't need headphones. Now, Dad needs his me time, so probably going to get some headphones at some point. I went over all the functionality of this in an earlier review, so I won't get too heavily into it. I will for my headphones. I'll be using an adapter. This is for the headphones is just a standard 1/4 inch or 6.3 millimeter plug. I was really looking forward to trying that out, and I misspoke a little bit when I did the review. I was thinking just by looking at it as a 3.5 millimeter, but now I'm looking at it and I think that's not that is definitely bigger. That is probably a 4.4 millimeter. I don't have an adapter for that. That's something I'll have to get to try this out at some point. This S-Balanced, as I said in the other review, that is basically designed to make it feel more like or sound more like you're using balanced headphones without actually putting the investment into balanced headphones. Balanced headphones separate the left and right channel a little better. Not to get into some great details on it, like I said, I'm not a huge headphone guy, but if you're looking at a higher quality higher quality headphone amp, and you're not looking to invest in really high-end headphones, maybe give that a shot. See what that does for you. I am really interested to see how the gain affects it. I'm interested to see about this X Space and X Bass. X Bass probably is not going to be my thing. I would much rather see adjustable knobs for bass, treble, all that, like some of the other amplifiers have. I'm not strictly just the type of music I listen to. I'm just not going to hit the bass up real high. X Space is designed to make it sound more open, kind of give it more of a tube amp feel, I'm assuming. So I'm interested to see how that does. But for this, I'm going to be using, if you can see that, I'm going to be using input number 2. Input number 1 is that smaller aux cable that I thought we had on the front. So you can use that if you're using it with a computer or a phone or really just about anything anymore. I'm going to be using the RCA jacks. Let me put this up here. So this is coming from my ZEN Air phono preamp into ZEN Air can. And I've been holding this for a while, I might as well plug it in. I'm going to be using a headphone adapter to go from that 1/4 inch to the smaller jack there. And then I need to plug in power. And I said it when I reviewed this, the phono stage. These cords are very short. They're only about 2 feet, so just plan on making it close to your power source or finding another solution for that. They also don't come with the brick. This is a USB cable, so it uses USB-B. So it would be nice to see it maybe upgraded to a C and maybe be at least another foot, maybe 2 longer. And it would be really great if it came with block, but it doesn't. Just just plan on getting that. Most people probably have those little USB blocks just laying around from old phones. So it makes sense they're not including it. A lot of companies aren't including those things anymore. They just kind of assume that you have them. In my case, they were right. I hope you have one too if you need it. But I did notice when I turned on the phono stage during my last test, it took a minute to detect that there was a signal coming in. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm just going to turn everything on before I get the turntable going, which you probably should do anyway. It's automatically going to detect, or I'm sorry, it's not automatically going to detect it. I am set up on the back. There's a switch to do moving magnet, which matches my cartridge. And I'm going to go ahead and plug in my headphones before I turn that on. All right. And it is listening on input number 2, which I already had it on because I did test it to make sure that I used the right block for power. I'm just using the little 5-watt block that came with older iPhones. Seems to work just fine. You can just press that. Should be able to see that light moving between 1, 2, and 3. Again, we're going to keep it on 2. I'm going to turn the gain down to 0. I messed with it for just a second before, and I think I just kind of randomly clicked on it, but we're going to keep it down to 0 just to try it out here. And let's get this record spinning. All right, so let me just start turning the volume up a little bit. There we go. All right, so just in case you didn't see what I did there, I didn't have that in all the way, so I could only hear from the left. All right, so now that I've actually plugged it in correctly, sounds really good. I'm going to turn the volume back down a little bit, and we're going to adjust the gain. Yeah, so I think I am going to keep it in the middle. Gain, if you're not familiar with it, it basically adjusts the strength of the signal. It's a lot of times kind of mistaken for volume. It does affect the volume, but it does affect mostly it's designed to affect the signal strength. That's what it does. So if you have a set of headphones that's a little bit more sensitive or not as sensitive, you can adjust that accordingly, and then you're not going to get things distorted by just having it really loud. You don't want to blow your eardrums off to get that same level of clarity. That's where the gain comes in. But it does sound really good. Okay, so it does have this X bass setting and X space setting. The bass, of course, is just a bass boost system, just makes the bass sound a little bit heavier. Not really my jam, just not with the type of music that I'm listening to. I'm listening to a record from the band. But let's see if it makes a difference. Well, that's interesting. So it does make a difference. I definitely can tell, but let's get this where you can see what's happening, because I thought you could basically, I assumed you could choose between one or the other, but here we're going to give it a little bit extra bass. And you can definitely hear it. It does increase the bass. Again, not necessarily what I would be into because of the type of music that I'm listening to. If I press it again, it goes to X space. That actually does sound really good to me. It does open it up. It does sound more like a tube amp. Not quite there, but definitely is an improvement, I think. And then if I press it again, I get both. I think I'd still rather just have the X space. I wouldn't want both. I'm not, like I said, a bass heavy kind of guy. But depending on what kind of music you're listening to, that may be just exactly what you want. But I think it sounds really good. I mean, for $100, if you get the phono amp too, $200 for the set, really you can't go wrong. I mean, it sounds really good. I'm actually really impressed for the money. I think it blows away the competitors for that price range. Really. A little disappointed in the power cord. Would like to see a metal case, but no, I think overall, I think it's really good. I think for $100, for this amp, $200 for the pair, I think that's amazing, and it's an amazing deal. And you don't need the phono preamp if you're not using a turntable. If you're using something else, like you're coming from a CD player, if you still have one of those. There's a lot of options that you can use that you don't need both. If you're going from a computer, maybe you're using it to play video games, maybe you're coming from a DAC, digital to analog converter, whatever your source is, you may not need that extra step. But yeah, I would certainly go check it out. You can get it, like I said, about $100 on ifi-audio.com. That's pretty much it for now. If you have any questions or anything, put it in the comments. And don't forget to like and subscribe so we can keep doing this. And thank you. You guys have a good one.